Now, when MAGA Republicans say that they want to make America great again, I often wonder, and I'm sure you do too, viewer, when is it that they thought America was great in the past? When specifically is the perfect point that they want to go back to? Not progress forward to, but what is it that they want to go back to? MAGA Republican Glenn Grothman actually finally said it out loud where Republicans want to take this country back to, and it was just disturbing. So disturbing that he was immediately torched by one of our favorites in the Democratic Party. Jasmine Crockett had such a perfect response to what this MAGA Republican had to say. You'll just have to see it. But first, for a little bit of context, let's see what Republican Glenn Grothman actually said, and it was just terrible.
So I hope the press corps picks up on this, and I hope Republican and Democrat leadership put together some sort of plan for January in which we work our way back to where America was in the 1960s.
So we know that MAGA wants to push this country back, but apparently they want to push it back 60 years. Back to the 60s is where MAGA wants to go. Now, I cannot respond as well as Jasmine Crockett can to this nonsense, so let's just check out what she had to say on Twitter. So Jasmine Crockett said, "I just wish the media would cover the real threats that we face as Americans. Number 1, Project 2025. Number 2, MAGA has made their agenda clear that they don't want to move forward, but instead back to the times of Jim Crow. Remember, they had a black Republican glorify Jim Crow. This is not a drill. 3, there's no perfection in politics, but we may find some protection of our rights, our humanity, our education, our existence, our freedoms, our future." Jasmine Crockett is spot on with that analysis. Now, you may not always view President Biden's policies as perfect, the policies of the Democratic Party perfect. I think that they are historic achievements and incredibly progressive, but not everyone will see them as perfect all of the time. That's just politics. Of course, we always want to move forward. Not everything is perfect, but what Jasmine Crockett perfectly articulates here is that at least we know that these advancements forward, sometimes they may be small, are at least movements forward. They're not us being pushed back 60 years like the Republican Party wants to see happen. Now, again, I am such a big fan of Jasmine Crockett that we couldn't just read one response tweet of her this week shutting down a MAGA Republican. I had to show you a couple of clips of Jasmine Crockett absolutely rocking Republicans in Congress. So take a look at this one of her calling out some of the worst MAGA Republicans in the House for taking credit for a bill they voted against. Check it out.
When we look at where this money is going from this administration, Rep. Jordan's district got $500,000. The chair's district got about $1.6 million in EPA grants. Rep. Green's district got $500,000. Rep. Luna's district got $300,000, and Rep. Perry's district got $1 million. So for Republicans that may feel a way about EPA and it allegedly pushing a woke agenda, I just want to know, can we get the money back? I'll yield.
Chair. Jim Jordan called out. James Comer called out. Marjorie Taylor Greene called out. What more could y'all want from Jasmine Crockett? Just an absolute rock star in the Democratic Party. And if that wasn't enough, if calling out MAGA in the House wasn't enough, she went on an incredible rant calling out Donald Trump and his criminality and the Republican Party's defense of Donald Trump's historic criminality that, again, you just have to see. Let's check this out.
They found him guilty not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, not 5, not 6. I could keep going on, but 34 counts were given. So the opinions of these people who were not juries is not what we do in this country. In this country, we have a system in which jurors decide who is found guilty, and if you have a problem with that, you go to the appellate court, which the last time I checked, he was raising money so that he could go to the appellate court and appeal his decision, and they will have the final say-so. Thank you so much.
Again, a perfect takedown of Donald Trump and his criminality from Jasmine Crockett. Now, it wasn't just Donald Trump who she was calling out for their terrible behavior this week. Of course, Jasmine Crockett does it all. Now, if you didn't see earlier this week, the New York Post, I don't even want to call it a news outlet, but I guess we have to, a conservative news outlet is in quotes there, published an op-ed in which someone wrote that Kamala Harris could become the first DEI president. Now, of course, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, has been co-opted by the Republican Party and turned into this really is kind of a dog whistle, another way for the MAGA movement to be racist. And so Chip Roy actually doubled down on that call from the New York Post, on that op-ed, and referred to Vice President Kamala Harris as a DEI vice president. And Jasmine Crockett just absolutely shredded him. Let's check it out.
At the end of the day, I don't think they'll go there. I don't think they can. They're in a box. They are in a box where they've got to choose between a mentally incompetent president and a DEI vice president, and they know that they're going to be facing a problem either way.
Now, I know that you all want to read a loser when a loser says a thing, so I'm just going to let you comment on what you think about those words.
Again, you know what? I want people to listen to them. If you just listen to what they say, it will tell you everything that you need to know. Number one, you can obviously see that he's ignorant as all get out. And number two, you can see that he wishes he had half the competency of Vice President Kamala Harris. Don't talk to me about what a DEI hire looks like, because we know that you have never, ever engaged in diversity, equity, or inclusion when it came to your office. So we know that you don't know anything about hiring diversity. But let me tell you one of the real facts about diversity in this country. We're missing out on trillions of dollars in GDP, and they can go and check the receipts if they want to, because we have the rogue governors coming out of the state of Texas that are anti-DEI. We've got the rogue governor in Florida and so forth. And so what they need to do is get over their incompetence and just try to get on our level and decide that they're going to compete and start to come up with actual policies instead of going after people because of how they look or how they were born. Instead, they need to focus on taking care of the American people, which means that you're going to take care of people other than just white folk. It means that you take care of brown, Hispanic, Asian, and everyone.
As always, so perfectly put by Jasmine Crockett, an incredible rock star. And I just was so excited to show all these different clips from Jasmine Crockett this week that I forgot that Eric Swalwell also had a perfect response to our, I don't want to call him a friend, but our MAGA congressman earlier in the show. So we see Glenn Grothman saying he wants to go back to the 60s. What does Eric Swalwell have to say about that? Always an astute tweeter, Eric Swalwell. He said, let's talk about the 60s. Poor kids were drafted to die in an illegal war. Gay couples could not marry. Black passengers sat at the back of the bus, and women couldn't get a credit card. When Donald Trump says, make America great again, this is what he means. Just a perfect analysis. This is what they want. This is what the MAGA movement wants. This is what they foresee. This is what Donald Trump is pushing in his Project 2025. And I think a perfect illustration of this to finish out this segment is an ad from our friends at the Seneca Project, a group of women organizing other women to vote against Donald Trump to protect their fundamental freedoms. And I think this ad perfectly encapsulates what Project 2025 and this MAGA movement to push our country back, what they want to strip away. And who are the people in this movement who have this twisted ideology? So let's check out this ad.
I think this video has made me rethink the 19th Amendment.
Will women have the right to vote tomorrow if you wave that magic Christian wand?
No.
A federal ban on abortion, ban mifepristone, ban stem cell research, and expand access to fertility awareness family planning methods.
If you dress like that and you get raped, and I'm on the jury, he's gonna go free.
If you're in your early 30s, I'm sorry, it's like you're not as attractive in the dating pool as you were in the early 20s.
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
These women are getting paid salaries to play for a league that, economically speaking, shouldn't exist.
Abortion's not health care.
We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up.
Y'all, this is what we're up against. These are the individuals who would be at the top of Donald Trump's government When Donald Trump was elected in 2016, it was a shock to even him and the people around him. And so they were unprepared to kind of go out and, let's be honest, try to destroy our country, because that's what they wanted to do. They were unprepared because they were so surprised, but now they have been planning ahead. They have been putting together Project 2025 with the sole purpose of breaking down our institutions, shredding any single government organization that makes people's lives better, that protects our fundamental freedoms in service of their rich friends, their corporations, and this theocratic branch of the MAGA movement. And we have to reject them at the ballot box every chance we get, and that's what we're going to be doing in November. Now, if you stuck around to the end of this show, make sure to drop a blue heart in the comments so that I know you're supporting the show, you're watching to the end. It really means a lot, and I can thank you for your support. And of course, if you want to support the show even more, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. This is a new channel, but we are growing. And of course, as always, like this video. It's the easiest way for me to know that you like this video. Again, I really appreciate the support of this new and growing channel. And until next time, I will see you soon.